This is TWiT.
Big story that just broke while we were doing iOS today, and it actually is a little disheartening. Apple has bought Dark Sky. That was a shocker. Dark Sky, which is my favorite weather app.
Me too.
And it was on Android. Dark Sky in their blog post said, yeah, we're not going to be on Android anymore. And starting in July 1st. But even more disheartening to me, they're going to kill the API at the end of next year. The API was used by a lot of other apps. You could, even if you used Carrot Weather, you could use the Dark Sky info in your
weather line.
Yeah.
No API, no website, no nothing. It seems it's very, very true to form for Apple that they don't necessarily they bought Dark Sky because they wanted better weather for iPhones. They don't want to get into the multi-platform weather business. But I mean, it's you just wish that they could loosen up a little bit and say, you know what, we will keep at least support for other platforms going, because this wasn't just some early in development tool that they acquired before it could really gain traction. This was really one of the top three you would mention if you were recommending weather apps to people. So it's disappointing that it's being taken off the board for everybody but iOS.
Weather is weird because all weather apps use the same initial source, which is the federal, at least in the U.S., the National Weather Service. They get the information from them, and then they make their forecasts out of it. There are other, Norway has one that's very good that I've used for a long time. What is there a Canadian? There must be a Canadian weather service.
We don't have Dark Sky. Like, a lot of people were freaking out, and I double checked, and we still don't have it. And it's not. I think it might be U.S. only, the way Pocket Weather was Australia only. Yeah. So I know it has a huge impact on Americans, but a lot of us were going, no, nobody has it.
Yeah, right. So what they've said, and I don't remember if was it Dark Sky or some other one that had a lot of. I don't think it was Dark Sky. They had a lot of home weather stations as part of their data, which would give them additional information that the weather service did not provide.
I think that was Weather
Underground does that. Yeah.
If you set up a weather station that a lot of different weather station makers support an API that lets you feed hyperlocal weather, and that it really is a killer.
Dark Sky had an iOS app. They say for now there'll be no changes to the iOS app for now. It'll continue to be available. The app on Android and Wear OS will no longer be available for download as of right now, and service will end July 1st. If you're a subscriber, because you can pay for this, you'll get a refund, prorated refund. The website will continue until July 1st, 2020. But then you won't be able to get forecasts from it anymore. The API will stay through the end of 2021, and now all of a sudden the Apple privacy policy takes effect. In fact, if you go to your iPhone or your iPad, you'll get an update for a Dark Sky. They say it's a bug update, but really it's the Apple privacy policy that you'll have to agree to.
It's interesting though, like because a lot of people are just assuming Apple has bought this, maybe for the talent, but as a way to make a much better weather app for the iPhone. Right now, that pulls Yahoo Weather, I believe. It's still Yahoo Weather.
Which is the worst, by the way, of all of them.
Yeah, but this is hyper-U.S. weather, and Apple's got to solve weather internationally.
Yeah, why did they buy them?
I would have thought
why did they buy them?
Like, they would have bought a much larger weather provider than Dark Sky if they really wanted to fix the iPhone weather app.
Well, but again, all the data comes from the National Weather Service, at least in the U.S. So, and you can't buy the National Weather Service. Yeah. Although weather.com
they have enough money to try, though.
Yeah. I'm not sure what you get. There must be something besides their forecasts. You're not buying it for the forecasts.
Unless it's just an acqui-hire.
It must be the team, right? Or the API. I'm not sure I really understand.
Well, also, there are two components to really, really good weather apps or really good weather forecasting. Number one is, of course, being able to get access to National Weather Service data and other kinds of data. The second is having meteorologists on staff that know which weather model, which mathematical model to apply to each situation. So perhaps if I'm just blue skying here, if I were at Apple and my job were to make Apple weather the best best in the industry standard, the best in the business, I would buy an app that is not just simply a throwaway widget, which is what the built-in app has been. And then I would also, just like Apple acquired a whole bunch of people in sports medicine and health medicine to create their Apple Watch and make sure that these people know it's being developed by people who know their business. I would also be acquiring meteorologists who would then not only have the expertise to be able to create a global weather app, but also have the contacts and the business acumen to create deals with all these other services to say, can we have access to your model for this? We need the New England model is no good because it has nothing to be right now because it doesn't handle hurricanes and coastal weather very well. So we're going to make sure that we have a model for this. So if Apple is really trying to be top notch with weather, it could be not just getting the app, but also that gets in weather data from everybody else, but also again acquiring a team of meteorologists and scientists and climate scientists who know exactly how to really fine tune these things.